to be offended. This is the offended show. Yes, it's time to offend everybody in this place. That's right. And this is really bad. I usually don't have notes, but I have notes today, so this is going to be an interesting show. We have so many different comics who, a lot of us, every time I ask them to do this, they're like, man, I'm really rusty. And I said, I'm rusty too. It's been a long time. And can you do it? I'll do it. I'm just a little rusty. And, you know, Chris is doing this for the first time. We're going to witness his transition into manhood. Tonight.
That's not how it's going to go.
Notes. I never use notes, but I'm going to use them because you didn't pay anything. So, you paid a donation fee. So, can't tell. Anyway. So, but yes, we'll be talking. I don't know what they're going to talk about, to be honest. I know what I'm going to talk about, and you're not going to like it. That's what I know. I don't know why I'm doing this. I am a self-sabotager. That's what I am. Anyway, they're going to be talking about, God, who knows, religion, politics. We'll be talking about, is it really that hot in here? I'm sorry. Drink more beer. We're going to be talking about, we might be making fun of some things or some people, and that's okay. There's no hate in this room, is there? No hate against any group except the Irish. That's fine. No, I didn't say pirates. I said the Irish. Pirates are okay. I'm the captain. All right. So it's okay to make fun of people, all right? I've been made fun of a lot when I stutter. I've stuttered since I was a kid. And God knows I know what it's like to be made fun of. And I actually think, but the point is to take the joke as, it is kind of funny, that I stutter at times. I'm not stuttering right now, and people are like, what the hell is he talking about? He thinks he's stuttering, he's crazy than anything. No, but I get stuck on words. But it is funny as shit, right? You can't talk. That's funny. God made it funny so that there's a person that has to go, it's his sense of humor. It's cruel, but it's a sense of humor that there's certain people that have to go through life and they just can't say the words. You know what I mean? It's funny. I get stuck on PHs and Fs sometimes, but it's usually not when I'm in a joking situation. It's always in a very serious situation. I'm trying to be really serious. I might have to actually be firm with somebody. I'm like, I have to, and that's funny to me. I find it funny. So I just think of it as just like, I'm buffering, you know what I mean? It's just everything's missing but that little circle in front of me. When I'm trying to right? I'm just buffering. Too much stuff is trying to download in I'm not upgraded enough to take it in quick. Feel free to come in and sit down. You're fine. Yeah, please. Yeah. Unless you're auditing us or something. Yeah. Take a joke. Have a good time. People here, might be people from different sides of agreements and things, but if ACT can be anything, I want it to be, if we really all get divided against each other, I really want ACT to be the last bastion, the last light, where those of us who disagree and hate each other can come together and just laugh at the same stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do, to entertain everybody still. That being said, this is not going to be a safe space. Now, it is gluten-free and gender-fluid, this show, okay? So you can count on that. Yeah. So some people might be made fun. I just said that. Yes. The downloading term, the technical thing that I said about the buffering, that's about as technical as I get. Okay? That's about as technical as I get. I can still fix your VCR or your VHS like a motherfucker, though, okay? Speaking of motherfucker, I told you that, I'm going to use these words tonight. Poo-poo. That makes you laugh, too? We should have invited kids anyway. Speaking of motherfucker, I told you it was so if you were one of the 10 people that were here last time, 2 years ago that saw this show, that Shannon and I did together, just the two of us, you would have learned that my favorite cuss word was motherfucker. And I liked it because it just was it has so many syllables, thank you. I stutter in my thinking too. Yeah, so many syllables. Boy. All right, Shannon, get up here. Okay. It had so many syllables, and it's like a staccato, da-da-da-da. And I used to think that, and I was such an idiot, I used to think that it just meant that somebody was a husband and a father, right? Right? You're a motherfucker, right? Oh, the son's born. Now you're a motherfucker. Okay? Congratulations. Yes. Right? But I have recently, just very recently, I came across a new cuss word that goes on the list. Want to know what it is? Yeah. You do? Okay. I thought you were going to say no. All right. It's a great word. I love it. It's duck shit. Duck shit. Now let me tell you the story of duck shit, of how that became my favorite cuss word, my new favorite cuss word. So it was last week. Was it last week? Maybe it was the week before. Anyways, I was in a grumpy mood because it was Juneteenth. Not because it was Juneteenth, but it was Juneteenth, okay? Just hear me out, okay? It was Juneteenth. And they put Juneteenth right in the middle of the week. And I went to work. I didn't know it was a federal holiday. It's a new federal holiday. I mean, I knew what Juneteenth was. We've done Juneteenth shows here. I directed them. But I forgot that it was, because it's a federal holiday, you don't have to go to work, right? Well, so I was at work, and this was my day to run the errands that I had to run. So I went to the bank, they were closed. I went to the post office, they were closed. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? What is happening? What holiday is this? Good, you know. And then I finally got to the news station. I had to drop off a check, right? They did a commercial for us. And then it said, we're closed for Juneteenth. I was like, oh gosh, okay, so they're closed for Juneteenth. I forgot about that. And I saw, and Juneteenth is interesting because it is a holiday. I mean, I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I might have my history wrong. But it's a holiday that celebrates the last group of people down in the South, in Texas, right, who found out last that slavery was over. You know what I mean? We have a holiday. That's the last time people realized that they were slaves and they were now emancipated. But I thought, there's got to be one guy who had like pneumonia during the emancipation time that the slaveholder guy did not tell him about. And he's going into town and seeing people going to the banks, people who were once slaves going to vote and stuff like that. And he's like, what the hell's going on? And nobody's telling him because they want him to stay that way. I think we should have a holiday to celebrate when that guy finally realized, that last man realized, God damn it, I'm not a slave anymore. Anyways. It's going to get worse. Trust me. So worse. Damn. Why me? Okay. So duck shit. Okay. So duck shit. So anyways, so I was all pissed off because I had to find, I couldn't go to the post office, so I had to go to Costco. Costco was open, and the motherfucker. Costco was open. They didn't observe Juneteenth. Everybody was there too, right? They must have been getting their Juneteenth supplies. I mean, it was crazy. Everything was so packed there, and I just needed to buy stamps. So I got stamps, and I put them on the envelopes, and I went to the mailbox at the post office to put the envelopes in, and I saw some duck shit. And I remarked, duck shit. And I got immediately happier. I felt immediately better since I said that word. And I was like, that word made me happy. It made me happy to say duck shit. I loved it. Because it has the hard K and the hard T at the end. 4-letter words, each one, duck shit, right? Duck shit. And it has a ka-ta. And it has a duh, which, the vowel, the U, the duh, E, with the I, duh, E, duck shit, duck shit. And I love saying it, duck shit. So whenever I'm feeling sad, I say, I'm having a real bad day, I just realized that a family member died, and I just say, duck shit. And I just feel better. I'm at the funeral, duck shit. And everybody laughs, right? So, one thing that you might learn, if anybody asks you who didn't come, how was Matt's performance? You say, well, he sure loves duck shit. And they're like, well, maybe we should get him that for Christmas then. It's a box. Duck shit. Let's put it on the tree, dear. All right, folks. got some water up there. I'm all dried up and stuff like that. All right. Yeah, so just this last thing, we'll be making fun of things, making fun of some people, and you don't need to worry about it, okay? It won't be harsh, it won't be bad. I mean, at least for me, it won't be that bad. I don't know about anybody else, but, and we shouldn't get afraid of that word. And I've been made fun of a lot. I got bullied and stuff before and everything like that. I've been made fun of a lot growing up. Stuttered, I was all weird, right? Tried to be Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. It was weird, Weird kid. Weird. I deserved it, damn it. I deserved the bullying. I did. I remember I got bullied so hard in 8th grade that I went to my mother. My mother's here right there in the front. And I went to my mother and I was all upset and everything, and she knew I was going through this. And she said, what's wrong? I said, well, these kids, they bully me. They make fun of me every day. Every time I walk to the bus, they're making fun of me. On the bus, they make fun of me. And my mother basically said, well, why don't you just whoop their ass? That was the best advice ever. But you said this. Don't look shocked. Don't look shocked. You didn't say it like that. You said, why don't you just beat them up, right? But I took it as, that was not the answer I was expecting, but I should have known better. Anyways, but making fun, it's not that bad of a thing. Actually, it sounds good, right? Fun. Fun's good. Why don't we make some? We're making fun. It sounds good to me. Anybody wants to say, let's make fun, I'm in for a good time, right? What are you doing over there, Phil? I'm making fun. Want to make some fun? I would love to make some fun. Let's make some fun, right? So don't look at it so harshly. It's just making fun. There's no hate, nothing like that. None of us hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. Few people. All right. But they're individuals, All right, folks, well, just think of this, last thing, just think of this. If you're against making fun, it's not like we're talking, making death, you know what I mean? But if you're not making fun, you're killing fun. So don't be one of those that kills the fun, all right? All right, folks. It better not. I wasn't being that harsh on it. All right, well, on that note, most of us comics, we actually make fun of ourselves, and that's the point. So hopefully she'll do some of that tonight. Shannon Post is here. Come on forward. Shannon is part of the ACT family, meaning she's done shows with ACT. She was in Happy Christmas Jeeves, that's Gypsy. Happy Christmas Jeeves, The Sensuous Senator, and probably some other stuff. She did ACT's first comedy show with me last year, so we're like partners in crime, right? And it was actually her idea to do it here. I kept trying to, go to Carnegie Hall. She's like, just do it here, man. Shit. Right, so everybody, Shannon, sorry, I'm not vaccinated. Shannon Post.
Coming out, guys. My name is Shannon. I'm from Peters Creek, and that's about all I have to say about that. How y'all liking summer week? You think you try to find the reasons to move out of Alaska, and then this shit happens? Right? So we had some family coming up from Florida, my sister-in-law, and they came up, and my husband had to clean the house because I had to work. I would have gone in on my day off to keep from having to do that, okay? But he cleaned the house. It was nice. It was perfect. You sit there and all the dog hair is gone for a minute. And then somebody says in the house, I'm going to put this in the microwave. Oh, shit. So you do that weird little three-hop that the long jump people do in the Olympics. You can't use the microwave because it's quirky. She's like, you didn't clean it, did you? Not in about 2 years. There was a baked bean incident. And I haven't opened the door in 6 months because that's about the time that I ran out of microwave popcorn. So we finally cleaned clean the microwave so people use it. We fucking didn't. We'll replace it before we clean it. The one thing you notice about keeping things clean is if you have a German Shepherd, who has a German Shepherd? Who has experienced the German Shepherd? That dog sheds 3 pounds of hair twice a day. There's nothing that can keep up with it. I don't care what the vacuum cleaner's named, it doesn't do any good. So we went and boarded the German Shepherd. What's another reason I boarded the German Shepherd? Because it loves me. It's like, but I love you. But I need you to get out of my face. But I love you so much. Call me to go lay down. But I want to sit on your lap and block the TV of anybody that's here. Just go lay down over there. And oh, when you lay down and you get nice and comfortable, I'm going to lay on top of you and I'm going to put my paw on your face because the cat does it and you don't get mad at him. Please get off of me. But Mom, I wanted like wear you as a skin suit. Okay, get in the car. So once we got rid of the dog, got rid of the hair, took the in-laws out to the Mahays riverboat tour. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Some people look over here, oh my God, there's a bald eagle. Oh, that's a bird. You see 30 of them, you don't walk your dog around, and these people might have been a parakeet sitting over there flying around. But as we're going like 120 miles out, all right? We get 60 miles out. Israel, who was our captain, Alice is the co-captain. He goes, hey, we're about to hit the Devil's Canyon. Let's go. We get there. The water's churning. He's got this thing. He's got it under control. I don't know why I'm doing this. It just kind of makes sense. It's steady. They open up the windows. Maximum concentration. Everybody, single file, come up here. Get your picture taken. He's holding this thing steady. People are sitting over here. Can't go on the bow. We'll lose you. We'll never see you again. Final destination moment. Churning behind them. They don't even know. That gets done. I'm like, oh, how are we going to get out of this, man? He puts it in reverse. Does a little turn. Drives down the river. Starts eating a sandwich. I'm like, bro. That was awesome. He goes, that was practice. I said, dude, that was balls. And to give you an idea of how we're not the same, the day before that, I was sitting in the middle of a lake for 2 hours on a kayak because I didn't want to paddle anymore. These are those times I remember that I can't see without my glasses. Oh, and I'll tell you what, because I turned 55 this year. Oh, no! My God, I'm holding up good. The cool thing about 55 is now I can go to IHOP and get the senior menu. I can get my tilapia and broccoli for a discount. I can move to the villages in Florida. If it wasn't in Florida. When you turn 50 though, that's the lag. You don't get any discount. You just get 50. It's all, 50 is all AARP magazines with the free gift and colonoscopies. I've not yet gotten the AARP magazine yet. But buddy, I have gotten me some colonoscopies. Who in here has had a colonoscopy? You go to the hospital. You get your little paper bag of stuff. You go home. You take the time to pull out the gallon of go shit yourself. Oh, did I say go shit yourself? I meant go lightly. You start taking it. You take your poop pills, you take the poop juice. You walk around thinking, hey man, this is taking a while. Oh, wait, maybe I'm the one. Maybe I'm the one that it doesn't affect. Maybe I'm gonna get out of this. Maybe it's... At that point you realize you can shit through a screen door and never hit the wires. This is when you realize how far Peters Creek is from J-Bear. This is when you're asking your husband, we're not driving my Toyota, we're going to take your GMC. Do we still have the pee pads from when the puppy was a puppy? He's like, why can't we take your truck? Because no. I'm not trying to heat up any shit in my leather seats. You get to the hospital. You finally make it. Fuck yeah. I did almost shit in a parking lot next to the hospital. I'm sure there were cameras. I wouldn't have cared. I am not going to soil myself and walk through a parking lot. So, and I'm sure it's happened before, trust me. So you get there to the gastroenterology clinic. You put on your gown. You're laying there. They put the IV in. Once the IV's in, that person that did it becomes your dealer. You're like, no, I'm not losing track of that one. All of a sudden, shit, there's a draft. Hey! Somebody's at the back passage. I'm getting aired out back here. I don't want to remember that this has happened. So she comes over, and it's like, and they're like, oh, well, calm down. I'm like, I don't do drugs, but in a hospital, I'm going to take everything you got. They're like, you got to relax. I'm like, you couldn't get a straight pin up my ass with a sledgehammer right now. So she comes over. And at this point, I'm like, okay. Miss Post, you really don't need to do that. Help me help you. So if you hadn't had a colonoscopy, that's what you had to look forward to. I'm going to close this with, ladies, watch what you say in jest to your husband and your son when they're doing projects. Okay? One time our tank cracked on the toilet. My husband's like, where are we going to get a tank? I'm like, I don't know, Rose. He goes, no, it's too expensive. I have to get a new toilet. I go, ha, 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 in jest, JK. You know that guy that goes through the Everglades on the airboat and basically a screen door for a bottom and he puts that Flex Seal stuff on it? Ha, 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 ha. Maybe you should try that. I've had a toilet with Flex Seal on it, holding it together for the last 3 years. It's made it through 3 years and 2 colonoscopies. God bless it. And I just want to let you know, I'm going to head out. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you didn't waste the gas coming down here. But I want to tell you, if you have Netflix, I want you to watch Baby Reindeer, because my friend Tori back here recommends it 10 out of 10.
Yet. Speaking of break time, if you guys have to use the bathroom, just get up and go to the bathroom, all right? Or if you need an excuse to leave, you can't hear anymore, you can't take it anymore, just say, I gotta go to the bathroom. Just assume you have to go to the bathroom. So, before we go to the bathroom, I did forget one important thing that we did not do, and I apologize for this. We did not do a land acknowledgement before we started this tonight. So, I'd like you all to bow your heads. Okay. So we'll do a land acknowledgement. I would like to acknowledge that we are on the land of the dinosaurs, the Stegosaurus, those raptors, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the mighty Triceratops once walked these lands that we are on right now. Amen. In fact, I'm going to go far back before that. I'm going to go back. We are on the land of the prebiotic soup. If you believe in evolution. If you are a Christian, a Jew, or a Muslim, we are on the land, the earth that once belonged to Adam and Eve and the animals. So long ago. You know, the thing about land acknowledgments, the place where you can't do them is on a plane. You can't do them on the plane, so who owned the air before we're here? This is what it would sound like, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to take off from Ted Stevens International Airport. I'd like to acknowledge, once we get to the air that I'd like to acknowledge that this is the air of the pterosaur. Thank you very much. Come quote that for me? It's hard to do. I wonder if there are any other countries that do this. I assume Australia does this, right? They say, we're on the land of the Aboriginals, and the kangaroos only and stuff, Crocodile Dundee only. The Crocodile Dundee made you laugh? The lamest part of that joke. Crocodile Dundee. Bloomin' onion, land of the bloomin' onions. God. Nope. Okay. But I wonder if the Italians, the Italians acknowledge the land, This is the land of the Etruscans, took the land. This is the land of the Etruscans. I was acknowledging this, Or maybe the Spanish. This is the land of the Moors. Had before us, that they took from us, but they're more Russian. Spanish Prussians. Sounds like a nice, expressions. Anyway, that's stupid. What about? Well, then the Moors would have to say this is the land of the Iberians, because they were there before that. So I don't know. This might piss you off, but I am part Comanche, right? A little bit of me is Comanche. Thank God for 23andMe, right? That's the place where white people can learn they're not all white. Thank God. Oh, jeez, thank you. Thank you, God. I'm 100th Aboriginal Australian. And then you think, God damn, one of my ancestors really got around back then. Australia? Shit. Must have been a stowaway. Dang. But it's funny because for the minorities, it's the one that shows them that they actually have some white and like, oh, fuck! What the fuck is this all about? I actually love to see that show where the actors find out that they're their ancestors and stuff. What was it? Angela Davis found out that her. It's not funny. Like God's funny, Angela Davis found out that she is related directly to one of the people that came over on the Mayflower. That bitch was pissed. There's no fucking way. He's like, well, yeah, it is. That was the best episode of that thing ever. Crazy. Take a breath. Believe that. What do you do if you're on the water? In a boat. I must acknowledge that I'm on the land, or the water. Let me start over. I must acknowledge that I'm on the water of Moana. Maui Island. So, yeah. But anyways, on that note, oh yeah, I mentioned the Comanche thing. I'll skip that joke because that's really bad. No. I was just saying though, but the Black Hills of Montana, right? That's where the, Mount Rushmore, the Black Mount Rushmore, not there. Whatever, I don't know what my geography is. I'm an idiot. I thought motherfucker meant husband and father. You're talking, this is the idiot in action you're watching. No, but, there was the Sioux Indians, right? The Sioux, the Lakotas. And I know Lakotas. I actually did a show in Ashland, Oregon, and got to live with a Lakota family. Beautiful, wonderful people. I loved it. Loved it. And, but if you're in the Black Hills, you got to do, would they have to do a land acknowledgement to the Cheyenne, right? And the Arapaho. And would they have to do a land acknowledgement to the Arikari, our car, who settled down there in 1500 AD. Anyway, it's not a joke, I guess. I'm sorry. Yeah. On that note, Nate, you ready to clean up this aisle 3 over here? I'd like to introduce Nathan Hall, the next comedian tonight. Nathan, everybody give him a warm welcome. You might have seen him in They promised her There's actually a really funny story about Nate. Nate, real funny story. So he did a show with us. They Promised Her the Moon that we did 2 years ago. Did anybody see it? Yeah. And we actually had the playwright who wrote the play direct the play, right? Direct the play. And one of the funniest, and I used to have to drive this woman back to the condo we put her in because we couldn't put her in a hotel, right? We almost put her down on Fairbanks Street, damn it, in a tent. Ain't nobody pretty. But I used to have to drive her home, and it was so funny because the rehearsal, it was Nate's scene, and he says, can we just change these lines because they don't sound right? And I thought, and I looked over at her, and she's like, I'm like, damn, you're talking to the playwright, man. It was a fun car ride home. I said, so, what do you think about what Nate had? All right. Hopefully we'll get some more of that. Nathan Hall, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings, hallucinations. My name is Nathan Hall. I'm a stand-up comedian. I haven't done this for a minute, so bear with me. When I was looking through my old notes, and I realized that like half the stuff that I used to do could now be like prosecuted as a hate crime. So I won't do a lot of those. I was looking at my comedy notebook, and it looked like Kevin Spacey's notebook that they find like in Seven. It's like nothing you want to show to a kid, like at all. I used to do stand-up. There's a bar, Rum Runners, that they had in Wasilla, and that was one of the roughest places I've ever done stand-up. They call me like the F word, the one that they use like that's like the British word for cigarettes. They call you that when you're doing the sound check. Very aggressive. And I opened up for some like really, really weird acts. Like there was one time that we were the warm-up act for a passion party.
Oh my God!
So there was just like a music stand like that, but it was just dildos there. And so there's like nothing that we could do that would possibly be as good as that, right? And then there was the other time where we figured out that they had just done a wake for somebody. And so they still had like the pictures up from it. And it was like this incredibly dark story. Like the crazy lady had like set her boyfriend on fire. And then we were supposed to like, be funny after that. Like, oh, turns out he wasn't cheating. Well, what were we supposed to say after that? But when I first did stand-up comedy the first time, which would be Valentine's Day 2007, I told my friends that the night before I had this dream. I said that one time I will work on this, I will put in the work, and eventually things will pay off. And one day I will do a show in Anchorage, Alaska, and it's going to be like 9 o'clock at night, and it'll still be bright out. And they're like, Nathan, that's weird. That's oddly specific, the dream that you had. I said, no, there's more. I will also perform, and it will kind of look like I'm just the warm-up act for like a high school production of The Wizard of Oz. I'm here to tell you that dreams do come true. Keep reaching for those rainbows. I don't have any good advice despite being 45 years old. I can tell you the worst advice I ever got, which was someone told us, like, believe in your dreams. That's what you should do. You should believe in your dreams. So that means the reason you're here, the reason we're here, the reason for my existence is the one where I'm going to go, one day I will rent a hot air balloon that I had, I'm going to pick up all the friends that I had as pen pals, and we're going to go across the country, and then I'm on a beach, and there's the ghost of John Candy. And he's got these, like, he wants to do shots of maple syrup with me. And then I realized that, like, I'm in the competition, like, for Miss Minnesota, and I don't know where my accordion is. That's silly. I want you to know that these glasses I wear are not a prop. They're mandatory. I have a lazy eye, otherwise there's amblyopia. 5% of the world has it. There's no cure. They're not fucking working on one. It's the only kind you can't fix with LASIK. It's, so, what I want you to know is that it is the most ignorant sounding disease to have, because it basically sounds like, see, this here's my good, he goes to night school, wants to be a nurse, helps out the homeless shelter on his day off. But this here's my dumb shit, good for nothing, lazy eye. Then I don't do crap. Just lays around the house all day watching Chuck Norris film festivals. He's accomplished just making sure all the stains on his shirt are the same color. For that joke, I used a southern accent to reinforce the stereotype that people from the South are lazy and stupid. Which is mostly true. I can say that because I mostly grew up there. The thing is that I went to journalism school, and that's the first thing they tell you is like to get rid of your southern accent because no one will take you seriously. Like, I was at this doctor's office, and he had, like, the whole wall was degrees. But, like, as soon as he started talking, it was just banjos. That's it. Right? Did not believe a word that man had to say. But my favorite accent is a Canadian accent. That is very seductive. I don't know if you've ever spent time there. But it's like, I was there for like 3 days for a wedding, and like by like the end of it, I was just doing like take off, I called like the guy at the grocery store chief for some reason. I was drunk in a hotel room and I knocked over a lamp and I apologized to it. Sorry. If you ever watch Canadian Idol, it's amazing. It's the opposite of American Idol, because they just try to compete to be as nice as possible to the contestants. It's as if, like, being, like, nice could be aggressive. That is what Canadian is. But, I was getting my hair cut when I was in college, and I went to this barber I'd never gone to before, and everything was going fine until, like, halfway through, and then I realized this dude was a racist. And when I say racist, I mean, like, real racist. Like, he had pamphlets next to, like, the big green, blue cones and all that, right? Started talking about, like, Rahowa, the mud races, and the Zionist conspiracies, all this stuff. But I'm halfway done with my haircut. And that is the equivalent of, like, they were like a contractor, but for your hair. Once they're at the 50% mark, you can't stop. Right? So I had two choices. I could leave, and I guess, I don't know, what's the reference? Look like Skrillex, right? Okay. And then I was just like, oh, just save it all up. I know you know how to do that, right? Yeah, my big, like, liberal move was like, I'm only going to tip this guy 10% and not go back. That'll show him. There is a place that I've been to in Georgia. It's called Stone Mountain. And that is basically where the Ku Klux Klan got started. I didn't go there like some sightseeing thing. I was just there and realized it. But what is amazing about it is that they have their own Mount Rushmore. There's a racist Mount Rushmore, okay? And it's just Confederate generals. Or as we like to call them, traitors. Right? Losers. Yeah, that's true. Right? Yeah. And so what's amazing is that they have this one event that is it's just beautiful, because at the end of the season, they do this laser light show of Pink Floyd songs at Stone Mountain, Georgia. It is the only time that you will see Birkenstocks and Doc Martens together as friends. I went to high school in this place called Cleveland, Texas. I don't recommend it. It's like being in a war. I don't really have a lot of people on my Christmas card list from that time. But the thing that I loved about it is there's this place called H-E-B, the grocery store there. Yeah. And so it originally was called, the guy that started, his name is Harold E. Butts. And so it was called Butts, and for some reason they changed it. I don't know why. But it's H-E-B, and so their mascot is a giant anthropomorphic bag of groceries named H-E Buddy. He is the scariest mascot I have ever seen in my entire life. And if you're drunk, it is not a good place to be. This bag of groceries is trying to hug me. But they had the best/worst promotion ever, which was you had this raffle, and then you could win a bag of groceries. But the trick was, you didn't get to pick out what was in the groceries. Like, cool, I got a lot of water chestnuts and some cream and mushroom soup. Thank you, bag of groceries. Something about me is I'm an agnostic, which means I don't know if I believe in God. I haven't made up my mind. Even though I'm 45, I'm still on the fence about it. But like in places like I was in like this place, Powder Springs, Georgia, near Stone Mountain, and that's the type of place that like when you move in, the first thing they say to you is, "What church you go to?" Not do you go to church, what church you go to. It's just implied. So they found out I was agnostic. So these guys came up and they had like they had hoods, they had horses, they burned a question mark in my front lawn. I used to be an angry young man, I've mellowed out. I used to be like a militant agnostic. I'd be like, hey man, I don't know what I don't know, but you don't know what I don't know, but you don't know that. People in Alaska are very aggressive. I get that they, your state, like even the abbreviation is an assault weapon. Like when I was dating, like it's the only place, like I've been in like 10 states now, where like on like, you know, Tinder or whatever, it's, there's so many pictures of women holding dead animals, like in their dating profiles. But they were often holding like rifles or like other guns at the camera as if they were angry that someone was taking their picture. It's very aggressive. But the thing I really have struggled with is the winters. And I hate that like people like, they're so tough, they're like, oh, whatever man, just take more vitamin D, whatever. Like sad is such like a wussy name for it. Like seasonal affectation disorder is a real thing, okay? And I remember that like one time I was so depressed, like it was so dark, that I looked up pictures of the sun on the internet. The way that you would like, you know, look up like a dead friend on Facebook. Like, oh man, I remember photosynthesis. I'm very lucky to be married because I have zero game whatsoever. I don't even know like what I would say to impress a woman at this point. Like, hey baby, I work on a podcast. That's like saying like, hey baby, I got CB radio. Sometimes I turn it on during storms to be safe. I got into comedy because, like, well, first of all, like, not a lot of great dads. Was something I figured out. But not a lot of them go gentle, like, into that good night, right? And so, like, it'll probably be, like, someone will discover the body, and I was, like, trying to think of, like, what would be, like, on the notation, right? And so, like, the only thing I could think of is, like, when the officers are there, where it's like, huh, well, that guy really liked Princess Bride a lot. I should probably just want to have Princess Bride tattoo, right? Don't want to make that joke in retrospect. I knew it. You're like, oh, it's like I have scars, but like I don't have any cool stories from it. It's just like, oh, okay, you probably should make macaroni and cheese when you're really stoned. It's not cool. One benefit of being old is that you're not going to be drafted for some reason. That was something I was afraid of for a while. I don't know why they would want blinding, but I was afraid of that. And I was trying to think of like if I was in the military, like where they would put me. And I found out that there is a military band. Like, that's still a thing. That's gotta be the most intense band camp whatsoever, right? This is my clarinet! There are many others like it, but this one is mine! I don't dance. Is that the light?
No, well, I mean, sure, whatever.
Oh, that's just your hero. Okay, all right. I'll rap. No,
I'm Iron Man, that's all I say.
I don't dance because the 3 strikes are out rule and white, straight, male. And, but my least favorite form of dancing is square dancing because I have a problem with authority. I'll do when I feel like a motherfucker. I will turn my partner, but it's when I'm going to get around you. You're not the boss of me, goddammit. I like old gangster movies. They're my favorite. They just talk in this like weird way. They was the only time because they'll say these weird old timey phrases like people getting fingered for a crime. You don't really say that anymore, except for maybe charity events or something. I don't know. But my favorite is like the phrase that the stick-up kids, they would go like, your money or your life. Your money or your life. Because it's just like, after they shot the guy, it's not like they're going to be like real honest after that. Like, no. He made a choice. Let it stick. We're killers, but we're men of our word. I'm by no means an expert on gender. I'm not going to try and opine on that whatsoever, but I will say that I do think that there's a distinct difference between the species, gender, men and women, with empathy and nicknames. Like, if there's like a woman, she has like a circle of friends, and she has an vasectomy, right? Okay, like they're nice to her after that happens. Like no one is like giving her like cute names like Uniboob or Lefty, right? Right? There was this guy in my neighborhood, and he had this weird tick where he just like constantly just like face like that. You know what we call him? No Johnson. I'll end here. Thank you very much for my time. By saying that there was this amazing news article that I read somewhere recently where like even with inflation and stuff, they figured out that the average cost of a hitman assassination is $20,000. Wow. Right, $20,000, right? Wow. That's not that much money, right? Okay, I don't have my back pocket, but I've got like pretty good credit. Like maybe I could put in some extra shifts. I could get $20,000 to pay someone to kill someone who didn't laugh at my jokes tonight. $20,000. Is that what your life is worth? Really? These can't be, I don't want like sympathy laughs, okay? Just like nervous tittering, okay? You could just be like living your life on the park lot, BAM! Dead! Over what? $20,000 could laugh at some guy's jokes? I'm Nathan Hall, you're the crowd. Thanks, good night.
You're actually good. One of the good ones. Shannon, no, I'm not talking about it. Anyway, all right. That's how I get out of saying so. All right. We just lost O.J. Simpson. Yep. I don't have a punchline. I just wanted to remind you of that. Not sad, I don't know. I just thought I'd remind you. Okay, well, here we come with somebody who is a really clean comic. So be ready to be cleansed. Be cleansed from the cleanliness. Actually, we all agree that it's a lot harder to be a clean comic. Because it's easy to say, Shad. Thank you. And she held a catch party last night at her house. I'll send you her address. It's called doxing, that's what we call it. Danielle Anders. I've never heard her perform, but I'm so excited.
I am a clean comedian, but I had half a glass of Prosecco. So. Prepare yourselves. I'm a homeschool mom, so yeah, so I'm sure you're really pumped. I lived in Anchorage for about 9 years, which Alaskans find very unimpressive. They just really don't care. They just don't care. I can remember the first time we were here, we were at a coffee shop, I think it was Kaladi Brothers, and I overhear these two ladies who, I think they were like from a club or something, but it was clear they had never like sat down for a real conversation together, and they're getting to know each other. And one of the ladies was like, oh yeah, I'm like a third generation Alaskan. My parents moved up here in a tractor trailer, turned it into their home in Soldotna, and just told this like lovely story about her heritage, and was super proud of it. And the other lady was like, man, my mom moved up here, and I was actually born in Canada. We were driving across country, born in Canada right before we crossed the Canadian border. She had me like on the road, and the first lady said, so you're a transplant? Okay. So yeah, I'm still a baby Alaskan by Alaska standards. Technically, I'm still a baby comedian. I've only been doing this for a few years, and it's been really good though. The comedy, just comedians in general, are pretty welcoming. They realize the nerve it takes. Shannon talking about a colonoscopy. I remember a comedian that I was like, hey, do you want to do a show with me? A guy who kept talking about it, but he was like, oh, no. And finally, he bit the bullet. He was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do stand-up. He called me the night before, and he was like, I just been putting off procedure I should really have done. So he'd rather have a colonoscopy than do stand-up. Before I come on stage every night, my husband's like, remember, Danielle, most people would rather die than walk out there. And that's it. That's the whole pep talk. Is anybody thinking about trying stand-up? Maybe next time you've thought about it? You really should try it. I got great advice when I first started. This guy pulled me aside and was like, hey, you're going to prepare and prepare and prepare. You're going to bring all these expectations and all this adrenaline and anticipation, and then you're probably going to be terrible. And I was like, great. It's like the same advice I got for my wedding night. I have so many taglines for that joke that I just never have the courage to tell. So. I'm glad you were here tonight. To show up on a Friday night in the summer to an event is like extremely sad. I'm like, are these people okay? Typically, it's hard to let go of the sunlight, right? It's like, I feel like in Alaska, it's like we're raised in a household where like you never get ice cream except on your birthday, and then on your birthday you like eat it till you throw up. And that's how we are with sunlight. It like finally gets here, and we're like, okay, I need to sleep. It's here, and I need to take advantage of it. My husband calls it sun guilt, like you can't not be outside. It really is like that. Like I made an observation the other day. We were at the park with friends, and there was a group of ladies talking, and it was kind of cloudy, and the sun moved, and they just all stopped, and they're like sunflowers. And then the cloud came back, and they just went back to talking to one another. We just badly need that sunshine. Alaskans still love Alaska, right? Like, it's really incredible to me. I did not understand it when I moved here. Because like when you first come here, you can still see like both sides of what's going on, but then slowly it's like, I don't know, like an abusive relationship. Like you start making excuses. Like, Alaska's not really like this. ago. They were totally different. And then, you know, they like dumped 12 feet of snow in 3 hours, and you're like, this was probably my fault. I mean, I probably said something that. Yeah, our friends think we're crazy, but we're like, bring it on. Winters, though, can be hard, right? I've heard several people already tonight talk about that. I remember just a couple of winters ago, I had a really hard winter, and I talked to my husband, I was like, hey, I don't want to go out anymore. I don't look forward to seeing people. I don't want to do stuff, like things that used to make me happy doesn't make me happy anymore. And he was like, hey, I think you're depressed. And I was like, so relieved, because I thought I was becoming an introvert. That's like my favorite joke. And one of my friends came up after the show and was like, is that what you think about introverts? And I was like, hey, maybe you're just sad. Like, we can medicate you. And, she did not think that. I think that's a great joke. One thing I think that's helped the winter is like picking up winter hobbies. So I recently started drinking. I'm just kidding. That's been going on for a while. My husband does not like that joke. He was like, Danielle, that's like sad. Don't talk about stuff like that. This is the same husband who sent me an article about how stay-at-home moms are the fastest growing drug users in America. I don't know if he was like trying to have intervention or just like give me ideas. We recently bought a tandem bike. Yeah, sounds like some y'all have ridden a tandem bike before. The funny thing about tandem bikes is like you see people on tandem bikes and you think like, oh my gosh, they're so happy. Like they love each other so much. So, I mean, I do recommend tandem bikes. Like, if you've ever thought to yourself, like, oh, I really wish God would, like, show me my sin. Or if you're like, I just need to grow as a human being, you should buy a tandem bike. We were on this one bike ride, and we're riding up a hill, and Lance is always in the front, because he's taller than me. You do realize that doesn't make any sense. But he's always in the front, and he gets to control the shifting, and so I'm working behind him. We get to the top of this hill, and I just lose my mind. I was like, you chew with your mouth open! It had nothing to do with what we were talking about. And he did not skip a beat. He was like, your dad tells the same joke over and over. And we just had to get it out there, you know. So yes, if you just want to grow as a human being, I highly recommend tandem bike. Another thing I started doing in the winter time is I started cross-country skiing. And that's been really cool. We live over near Kincaid, so it's super close to where we live. I know how to classic, but I was like, I'm going to learn how to skate. My kids skate. I can't keep up with them, so I was like, I'm going to figure this out. I got a 3-day rental from AMH, and I spent the first day trying to stand up. I don't know if you know this, but your skis just want to do this. So day 2, I could stand up. Day 3, I was making a lap around the Kincaid Stadium by myself. Yes, and then a blind skier passed me. That really happened. They have a vest on that says blind skier, and they ski with a partner, and they passed me. And I was like, rude. So, yeah, that's just more of a sad story, I think, than Lance and I have been married for 18 years, and is over. Thank you, Brett. Brett's my friend, and he talked for that. It has been overwhelmingly good. I mean, so good. I'm like super, super thankful for it. One thing I've observed though is that what you think a date is changes over the life of a marriage. You know, in the beginning, you like make a plan, lay out an outfit, take a shower. It's like super intentional. And now it's like, it's about proximity really. Like if we're at the same place at the same time, it's a date. Costco date. You have said that. You have said that. Or like Lowe's date, right? We were in Lowe's the other day, and I reached over and took his hand while we were walking. He was like, huh? like something was going to happen in the sheetrock garage. Exciting. So exciting. We still have, you know, the magic, you know. It's good. We were on a date the other night, and I was looking around, and we're at South having a conversation across from one another, and I see another young couple on a date, probably in their 20s, and they both have their, cell phones out at the table. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so glad, like, we still have, like, this chemistry, and we love our time together. And I get to see Lance, like, looking across at me, and I'm like, he's just happy to be here with me, genuinely happy. And then he was like, do you think, at Costco, do you think the hot dog costs $1? And the drink's 50 cents? Or the drink is $1? And the hot dog's 50 cents. Oh, check, please. I have a reading glasses here. We do hold hands a lot. We love being near one another. We pretty much never get tired of being together, gratefully. But one thing we do not do is sit on the same side of the booth. Shaylin, do y'all sit on the same side of the booth? And we got any same side of the booth sitters in here? Oh, guys! It is weird. Yeah, it's weird. Like we were watching, Lance and I were at the dinner, we were watching this couple of scenes on the booth, and I just like, I cannot even enjoy my meal. I'm like, what is that about? Like, what is going on? And I'm just like really analyzing it, and he was like, sweetheart, maybe the people watchers, they're not going to a movie later, this is it. It's like they're watching like a Broadway performance. I was like, oh, I just don't know, like, you know, I just have never seen a couple on the same side with the thought, they're in love. But I have thought, they might be cousins. Just saying. We recently sold a tandem bike. That was the best Facebook listing I've ever made in my whole life. I'm not even joking, it went viral in Anchorage. It got shared like 8,000 times. It was just me talking about watching my husband's butt for 15 miles. And literally I sold it for $300 higher than I listed it for. Somebody bought it as a wedding gift for their friends who were high school sweethearts. I was like, this is going to be awesome. My husband is infinitely patient, and I think I've changed a lot over time. He did not think as a high schooler the woman he was marrying was going to be a stand-up comedian, slash, homeschool mother. But he was just so patient. And one thing, though, that I think maybe he was told often would change about me that never has is everybody was like, her hygiene will get better when you're married. It told lies to us, basically. I'm extremely low maintenance. Like, I personally think it's good to have, like, high maintenance friends, and then you be the low maintenance girl in the group, because if you, like, wash your hair, everybody's like, you look amazing. I don't know if you guys know this. The men might not know this, but among women, there's, like, a spectrum of acceptable cleanliness. It's kind of like a $2, $5, $10 car wash. And I'm like a $2 quickie wash. Undercarriage only. maybe $5 like undercarriage and shampoo. Or like church. Or on very special occasions, I'll do like a $10 wash, undercarriage, shampoo, and shave. Okay? And not just from my knee down. The whole leg. That's for really special occasions, okay? I realize, if you've been married longer than 10 years, anybody in here married longer than 10 years? If you've been married longer than 10 years, you can testify. Basic personal hygiene turns into foreplay. Because you shaving your legs or like brushing your teeth. He's like, oh yeah. Takes the socks off. A $20 wash maybe is like undercarriage, shampoo, shave, or a wax. Oh. Yes. And that's reserved for like your wedding. Yeah, just your wedding. Lance is awesome, and he came up with like this, promotion system, like to encourage me. It's like a punch card. Like 10 washes and I get a free background. But it's my understanding that really, like, me getting a background is not about me getting a background. I'm just saying to read the fine print on those punch cards. Shannon, you were saying you turned 55. I turned 40 last year. It was like my big milestone birthday. And I was really surprised at the number of people that called me and were like, hey, I hope you get a nap. Like, real conversations. I was like, oh, that's what you wish a 40-year-old, that they hope they get a nap. All right. I actually have hit a couple of big milestones this year. I don't know if you can tell from looking at me, but I recently started peeing my pants again. Thank you. Really, like 2 minutes on the trampoline with my kids. I feel like a little tinkle. But it's like, you like acknowledge it, and you're like, oh, okay, yep. But it's like, you don't stop what you're doing. It's like, yes, I did pee my pants, but we got things to do. Oh, man. Yeah, turning, just your body growing old is very ecclesiastical, your body falling apart. I threw my neck out pretty bad a couple weeks ago in my sleep. And I was like at the doctor talking to her, and I was like, but the night before, I usually sleep like this, and I slept like that. She was like, that probably did it. I was like, oh, I'm not doing too bad. I'm like, I've got the incontinence and the herniated disc. the cataract surgery, but other than that, like that, and the bunion, so like the incontinence, the bunion, the cataracts, the herniatus, arthritis. But I'm like, I was like, oh, as I'm making that list, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start lying about how old I am. I think I'm gonna say I'm 70. People are gonna be like, you look great. I did tell my children, I'll leave this parting thought with you. I told my children I have a new strategy for growing old. I was like, I want to look young for the rest of my life, and my plan is this. I'm going to gain a little bit of weight every year. So like fill in the wrinkles. So by the time I'm 60, I'll look like a 300-pound 20-year-old. A giant fat baby. It might have heart disease. Well, guys, thank you so much.
Good job. Good job for Danielle. Listen, folks, we're going to let you all have a 5 or 7 minute break. If you want to go to the bathroom, we got some comments left. Please stay. I'll sell some more beer and wine or whatever's left to you guys out there. And we'll be back in about 7, 5, 10 minutes. Thank you. Mayor Dave Bronson had his final day on Friday. And I'm mad at all you people who voted for LaFrance because I finally got him to come see ACT shows. God damn it, I gotta start all over again. No, I actually got to meet Les Français. I met her. They did this whole thing where the really important theater community got together and listened to all the mayoral candidates and stuff like that. So I got to meet her there, and hopefully she'll go to the stuff and everything like that. You all happy with the outcome, new mayor?
Yes!
Woo! I have to say, I don't want to offend anybody at all, but I have to say that I don't know if a lot will change in Anchorage. I mean, she was really aggressive against the snow. I really know that when this snow falls this year, one flake, she's gonna get the fuck out, plow that fucker right out of there. Snow will not last long on our streets. We learned that. But I'm talking about, what's in front of us. It's the elephant in the room, or whatever. It's the elephant on Fairbanks Freeway. It's the homeless, the vagrant problem, the transient problem, the crime, right? We've all been affected by the crime. I've been affected by the crime. I've had things stolen. Someone broke into this building one time. The stage manager did leave the back door open, but we still use him because there's no stage managers. But, she didn't seem that aggressive against that problem. And you see in our country that criminals, those confused, that criminals, it's like what they said in the 90s, it's a revolving door, it's like they get into jail, they do something, they get let right back out again, just come out and play, it's like they get arrested, they go to jail, it's like, I told you not to do that again, now go play, goddamn, and then go back out there and do more crime. And I think I have a way to solve that problem. I will pay the tax money to invest in large hamster balls. You still kind of get to be in prison, but you can still move around in a big ball. They can't hurt us, we can't hurt them. Anyway, you gotta use the ramp for that one, damn it. But, so maybe we're stuck with this homeless problem for a while, and the transient thing, and I'm talking about the camping out in the public parks and stuff, and the crazy things we see. It's crazy. I take my dog for a run around the Campbell Creek Trail sometimes, and I see the crazy things, and I see these encampments, and they have all these bikes that I guess have been stolen, but just a whole rack of bikes. God dang, I actually went to one of these places to try to buy my kid a bike. I was like, shit, got any with training wheels? said, no, it's over on Fairbank Street. Okay. What color tent is it? Okay. Get my kids some stuff here. But I figured, how are we going to fix the problem? And I wondered, like, so if we have to settle with the problem, I have one thing to ask. Can the people in these camps just be a little bit cleaner? I mean, I don't want to be an asshole or anything, or a snob, but I'm just, do you see the trash? The actual piles of trash? Some of them don't even have tents, they just live in trash. It's like a nest. Sometimes they do trash angels in them, you know? Trash. And I realized I saw all these places, you know, and I care. I don't have hate in my heart. I care. But I see all these places and I figured, look at all this stuff out there just laying out, and I thought, you know what, none of these people have shelves. They don't have places to put the trash. They're shelfless. They're dresserless. They're not just homeless. So the next time you're driving down the street and in the little middle thing you see the guy with the sign, I want you to pull your car over and say, hey there, buddy. You wait right there, I got something for you. Get out of your car, open up your trunk, and hand him a credenza. Some place to put all that stuff. Maybe put a house around all that stuff too. All right, folks. I'd like to bring up a comic that I haven't heard before, but her and I go back a couple years. She was in Young Jane Eyre here at ACT, but she's very prominent within the film community in Anchorage. And I would like to introduce Haley D.
Alright, thanks. It's too tall. Dark. Okay. Man, okay. Man, I have to pee again. I already went like 3 times since I've been here. It's okay, I've been drinking a little bit. Alcohol, because I'm a real adult. But, yeah, small person, small bladder, that's what I always say. Patent pending. Summertime, I have a lot of family visiting, which is great, but I haven't seen a lot of them in years. But lucky for them, I still look the same. It's been I often get mistaken for a child. You know, I wonder why. I'm, this tall. But, I've been, mistaken for a child 1,127 times so far this year. I know because I kept track of my adult coloring book. I even kept track of the number of times that people treated me like the actual adult that I am. Wasn't exactly a page turner. So far, it's only been liquor stores. Well, actually, just one. Because they know me. You know, being the raging alcoholic that I am. I like to get to know my local shops, you know. So they all know me. You know, just gives me an alibi. You know, my local garbage man, he really knows me. He's always fishing me out of the dumpster every Thursday morning. I'm always late for things like work, school, college, doctor appointments, even going to the bathroom, number 1. There's a few things I'm never late for, like film shoots, comedy shows, going to bathroom number 2, and my weekly cult meetings. We're the KK kids. We don't wear sheets, we just wear pillowcases. You know, we only discriminate against tall people. And, not white people. Just kidding. I'm only, half joking. Just puts you in the 9 to 14 age group. It's pretty frustrating. You're probably wondering how old I am. Well, I'll give you a hint. I'm between 9 and 35. And I don't wear light-up shoes. But they come in nice sizes. But anyway, where was I? People always ask, like, how tall are you? This tall. This is it, not getting any taller. They don't make stilettos in my size. I'll probably just use it as a weapon anyways. It definitely comes in handy. In Anchorage, alleyways. But yeah, anyways, like, I know I look young, okay? But I definitely feel old. Like, I got back problems, my knees always cracking, like, I'm losing my memory. But, you know, if I just had one box to check, 27. I could lie in both directions, just split the difference. I can be young when I need to be, and old enough when it's convenient. I can buy a youth ticket at the state fair, and then go straight to the beer garden. No questions asked. Unless I'm trying to get on a roller coaster. And then they're like, how tall are you? This is it. 3.2 garden gnomes. So I got lost at Costco once. Then I pulled out my compass. I had 14 missed calls. You know, everything at Costco is just so oversized for me. I mean, probably not for you, but for me, everything is just oversized. You know, I wish Anchorage had more mini marts. It'll make me fit right in. You know, you wouldn't like shopping either if you had to climb the shelves. So I started bringing a little mini ladder with me. People asking me, do you work here? I could. I'm old enough. So, I've never really been good at quickies, but I'm getting better at quickers. I'm getting quicker at quickies. So that's why we have a safe word. You know, I tell my boyfriend, you know, we got 10 minutes. If we can't make it in 10, it's a hard out. That's when the safe word comes in handy. That's the thing, right? Like, I feel like everyone's is just pineapple. Is that for real? Mine, you want to know what mine is? Mine's just stop. Stop. Okay, keep going. A little faster. I'm pretty good at giving directions. I am a film director after all. You know, my safe word should just be cut. Okay, take 127. I need more passion and action. You know, I would never make an adult film. But if I were to, you know, I think I would make it like nature documentary style. Like, if you could just imagine this. And then the female pushes the male out of her, and the male falls asleep happily. And then the female sighs of relief. That's actually all I got. My name's Duryea. Thank you. Life's too short, pun intended.
Thank you, Haley. She came out here and you're like, now what the fuck are you thinking? You did great. That was awesome. All right, we have our next comment. I'm not even gonna do a little set in between his, because I'm saving for later. Chris Linn, you might have seen him in They Promised Her the Moon at ACT, Annie, an ACT show at the PAC, and everything else. Clue the Musical, Arsenic, and Old Lace, where he played the main guy, and he's just, I think it's been really good for Chris to kind of get into this acting community and just do this stuff all the time. I actually have a feeling it's been very good for him. It's been very good for me. I feel like, well, good for me too, baby. But we've been good to each other, and here at ACT. Anyways, no, I don't know. I'm just happy with him, and he has a wonderful wife. He has a wonderful wife, Rachel, over there. Yeah. So, Chris Linn, coming up there.
I love you too. The thing I like about Matt is that he's always the big spoon, and I really like him. I like to feel secure. So I've never done stand-up before. I am an actor. I have just never done this kind of thing before, but I've always wanted to. So I agreed to do this about a day and a half ago. Most people have prepared remarks. Not me. I have no cards. General ideas on them. So, thank you for coming out, though. It really is awesome to have everyone here. I really appreciate it, especially because it's so beautiful outside, and you guys chose to be inside here. And I have made a similar decision because it's been so beautiful outside. I was like, I am going to renovate a closet inside my house. This is going to be great. And that's on that card. It was going to solve 3 problems. It was going to renovate this closet, and it was going to solve 3 problems. And the first problem was that we have too many coats. There's so many coats in our house. I mean, we have racks when you walk in. In the back door, there's actually 2 sets of racks. And there's a long wall, too. It's like 8 racks per. Still fill it up. I mean, with windbreakers or pea coats, waistcoats, fleeces, blazers, every kind of coat you can imagine. And it's awesome when we try to find the car keys, because it's like, which coat is it in? It's in the green one. Oh, I don't feel it in there. No, the Kelly green one. Chris, that's a windbreaker. I got it wrong. That's one problem that I have, and I was going to fix it by making this closet into a coat closet, right? The second problem that it was going to fix was that this closet had become, the theory was we were going to have a craft closet. We're going to put all the crafts in there, and we're going to have it nice and organized, and then you can just go in there and grab our crafts and sit down and craft away, and life will be great. And what the craft closet turned into was a crap closet. And it was just a bunch of crap in there. Everywhere is crap. The next thing that I had to fix was that our dog, sweet boy that he is, his name's Morrissey. If any of you are 80s music fans, and really morose. He peed on the door several times. And that pee then dripped down the door, went on the floor, and all that. And I had to do something about it because it was pee and it was on the floor. Logical, right? Good stuff. So I had a plan. I was going to take the door off. I would take all the stuff out that was in there, the shelves and everything, and then I was going to sand the floor and remove the drywall and then put it all back in. And it was going to be great. I was going to put this thing. It's a rod. I was going to put a rod in there, and it was going to be high enough for my wife to hang things up. And then I was even going to put a shelf. I'm going to put a shelf in there, and you can put stuff in there. On top of the shelf! On top of the clothes! It's amazing, right? It's not what happened. So I removed the door. That went great. It was like butter. So smooth. I was so happy with myself, and I went to the next task of taking out all the shelves. Also very easy. I breezed through that and I thought, this is going to be done in no time. I'm going to be out in the garden doing my thing. And then I got to this part and it was a box. And it was just like a box in the ceiling and didn't have, it was just like blocked off and it didn't seem to do anything. I didn't know what was behind there. But my house was built in 1941, so part of me was like, what's back there? Like, is it like the Alaskan Da Vinci Code? Right? Is that going to be back there? Is it like Captain Cook's treasure map to One-Eyed Willie's gold? I don't know. I don't know what was back there. Until now. I do know now. And it's actually just nothing. It's void. It's a void. It was sealed up. It was a void of nothing that was sealed up for later generations to uncover. Yeah. But I'm not mad about it because I have a bigger closet now. Yeah. Right? And it actually gets bigger because when I went to take off the drywall, behind the drywall was actually just more wall. It was like, wall. I don't know how else to explain it, but there was wall there, and it was like the old wallpaper. And I don't know if you've ever seen 1940s wallpaper, but it's very nice. It's like they fed Prince's corpse to the Exorcist kid, and then she threw it up on the wall. Like this weird green paisley, just cracking nastiness. It was awful. And I kind of wanted to keep it, but Rachel said no, I can't have the nasty cute wall in the house, even if it's in the closet. So, that's done. The next task was sanding, and I don't know if you guys have ever sanded the floor before. There's a coat over top of it, and it is very hard to get through this coat, and it takes so much patience and so much determination. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put an audio book on, and I'm just going to get to it. And Matt had told me that they were going to do a contest for a radio play, and you could write a radio play based on a public domain property. And I thought, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea would make a great one. I should reread that. And I grabbed the unabridged version, and I went to town. And there's a reason that it's unabridged. The abridged version, basically, it goes from the beginning, cuts out like 65% of the middle, and just finishes off. It's great. The unabridged version, however, is just so boring. It's so boring. they'll just go on about, I stood at the conservatory and looked out at the ocean and saw the many eels and swordfishes and octopuses and nautilus, which was the name of this great ship. There were also eels. Just on and on. And these are all terrible people. They're all just the worst. Nemo he's basically like Elon Musk under the water. And that's it. He's Elon Musk under the water. Ned Land is just an angry man. Aronnax, he's got Stockholm syndrome. He's been taken by Nemo, and then all he does, he spends like 65% of this book just talking about Nemo and how great he is and how wonderful all these inventions, and he has all the money in the world. He could solve world hunger, but he doesn't. No, this great man keeps going, doing whatever he likes. The science, yes. Thank you very much, Nemo. So I stopped reading that. I just stopped. I just pulled the plug on it and I said, enough's enough. This is going nowhere. And I started to learn about Magellan. And I gotta say, Magellan is so much more interesting. He's so interesting. He's a terrible person still very terrible. Arrogant and all these great things, But he had this crazy determination and this confidence. It was like he was Trump walking around at an Epstein party. He just had this confidence that nobody else has. And he got no so many times and then finally said, you know what, Portugal, I'm out of here. I'm going over to Spain. And they let him, for some reason, go out. And sea voyage sounds so terrible. It sounds awful. You know how many times they got scurvy? Do you know what scurvy is and what happens when you get scurvy? Like your teeth fall out. They just fall out of your face. Because you have scurvy. Can you imagine what these guys were like at the end of this voyage? Like coming up to these beautiful scenic islands, and they looked like they had just done meth for 20 years. It's insane. All this I'm learning while I'm sanding, okay? I'm going through 2 books, because the unabridged version, I got through half of it, and that's like 1 book. 1 book. So I did another book, and then I had finally broken through the seal, and I got it. And I thought I was so close, and then you try to match color on the floor. It ain't gonna happen very, very often. And I don't know if you've ever done the quick dry, but it's also not as good. You gotta get the good stuff, and it takes a long, long time. And I don't care how much you vacuum. I vacuumed, I swept, I mopped the floor, I dusted the ceiling just in case things were going to come out. I had all these different things sucking the air and filtering it out, and there's still hair on that goddamn floor. I couldn't do anything about it, and I tried. I tried my very hardest, but it's there, and it's going to stay there as a lesson. Okay, it's going to stay there as a lesson to me that summertime is not the time to be renovating a closet. I need to be outside enjoying life instead of being inside and working on this incredibly frustrating project and learning about incredibly terrible people. But I said, I still feel pretty good about it. I still feel pretty good about it. I'm not done yet. It's still going. But I feel like by the end of the summer, I'm going to finish this thing and it's going to be beautiful. Thank you guys very much.
That was great. First time around, Chris Linn. Just say stuff, because you're funny. Another person I wouldn't say that to, a very boring person, just say stuff. They'd be like, well, that text is very good. I have to acknowledge, is he still here? Where's Brett Raywald? He leave? Oh, man.
Sorry.
Dang it. Yeah, what the heck? All right, folks, now it's just me. I put myself last. It's throughout, but I don't know why I did that, because all you all are last out. You're tired. It's 4 a.m. and if you want any more beer, just go get it, I guess. Fuck me. Well, I could have planned this better. Well, I will begin my final bit here, my final set, with something that I came up with. Now, granted, you have to understand, when my phone dies and I'm in the bathroom, and there's nothing to read, and the power goes out, I start thinking about things. And I thought, and I came up with something called, If I Was a White Supremacist, written by Mateo Vicente Fernandez. And I thought about this, because I thought, I actually had time to think about, what is it about this white supremacist thing? And the idea is you hate everybody but your own ethnicity, right? And I was never raised like that, And, I don't want to do this. But I thought about it. I thought, could I do this? Could I actually just hate everybody but your own thing? And I thought, what a concept, just hating everybody. How do you hate everybody? There's certain people, wouldn't there just be at least one person that's not of your ethnicity that you kind of think is cool, think is nice? But that's not the point. You got to commit to it. You got to commit to being a white supremacist and hate everybody. So I thought, all right, could I do this? And I'm not like saying, all right, could I do this? I think it's a good step for me. I wouldn't do that. Heck, I can't be a white supremacist. I have friends who are Italians. I'm a little old-fashioned, Anyways, and they're Catholics too. No. So I thought, all right, could I be a white supremacist if I wanted to be? And I thought, well, I have two things working against me. First, I don't really want to hate other people. It sounds like a lot of work to do, and you sound sort of lonely, like you gotta, the mechanic who might work on your car might not be the same ethnicity as you, and what are you gonna do? How are you gonna find the white supremacist car guy? How are you going to go to the white supremacist Baskin and Robbins? You'll never get it. You'll never find white supremacists at Costco. Maybe in a managerial position. I don't know. So I thought, the second thing working against me is my last name. Not a lot of white supremacists. Fernandez is around. So I happen to be half Latino, half Hispanic. All right. Yeah. It's just half, man. It's not even a good half of me. I speak only a little bit of Spanish. Un picante. That's all I speak. And I thought, and actually, you're not supposed to say Latino anymore because it's not correct. Could be it messes with the gender, the gender thing. And so they changed it to Latinx, or you could say Latinx. Right? You gotta take the gender out of it, Latinx. Which means on my mother's side, I'm part Germixon. One of my ancestors was a Scots Mixon. And like I mentioned before, I am part Comanche, or Comanche, Native American. Just a 1,000th of a person. Thank God. Anyways, so yeah, there's not a lot of, actually I'm part Tejano, right? So that's a Texican Mexican. Just a big thing, you know. Actually, they changed the name to Latine recently, and I think it sounds a little too much like latrine. Latine. They keep changing it. I'm like, you dumb fucks. You can just say Latin. It's been around. Latin. It doesn't have a gender. Just say a Latin person. Latinx and Germixon. I don't even know what to do. I feel like I'm living in Dr. Seuss or something. Anyway. So yeah, that would work against me, I think, in the white supremacies. If I came to them and said, hey, I want to join up, where do I sign up? And I wouldn't get in. Because I'm not qualified. Unless they started diversifying, had a diversity program, you know? Be more inclusive in the white supremacy. You know, we need to be more inclusive, goddammit. Some of these other people in here, white supremacists. So, yeah. What else do I have going for me? This is where, yeah, okay. Yes, being a Fernandez might hold me back from being a white supremacist. But let's say that they let me in. They let me in to the group. They had a diversity program and I was their outreach candidate. And I got in and I'm like, all right, it's time to hate everybody. Hate all you people. Everybody's not like me. Well, I mean, I gotta hate half of me, I guess. I ain't paying reparations to half of me. Some of the bitches. But I thought about it. I thought, could I hate everybody? And I thought, well, I think I would have a hard time. I would refuse. I would refuse to hate one people group. And that would be the Samoans. Because Samoans are great people, and they look like they hurt. And I didn't get into this thing to get hurt. Samoans look like they can hurt you bad, you know? Like really hurt you. From the toddlers to the old women. Look, any of them looks like they could just beat you almost to death and break parts of your body and you'd be crumpled, bloodied in a corner with a sandal up your ass. Flip-flop hanging out your ass. So I would refuse. I'd say, no, my brothers. I will not be racist against the Samoans because they're too dangerous looking and I don't want to get hurt. In fact, I might become a Samoan supremacist. I could do that. I might even work for them for free. Okay. All right, don't say that. Okay, sorry. I didn't like your health. Happening. Dean, where are you? Damn it. But I think I actually, well, before I say this, let me say I have a favorite word. It's not a cuss word. Okay? I have another favorite word. I love this word. Some people don't like words. There's certain words that are, they hate. Who doesn't like moisture? Some people don't like that moisture. Moisture. I like saying moisture. Well, you got a lot of moisture going on. Well, I am Italian, so. I just watched Godfather too. Yeah, so my favorite word, one of my favorite words is critter. Isn't that a great word? Critter? It's so cute. Critter. I love saying it. Critter. It's critter. Oh, it's a little critter. And critter really means every creature, right? Like critter. You can call anything a critter. And then I thought, whoa. My phone went dead. Power went out. And I was in the bathroom. And I thought, I think I can solve racism in the world. and it's if we all shared one slur. And that slur would be critter. Yeah. You know, and it doesn't have to just mean people. It can mean anything that's a critter, right? A bug. Fucking critter. A cat. Fucking critter. That fucking critter Dick forgot my change. You can use it in nice ways. Critter what? Critter please. Critter please. No, critter please. Where all my critters at? Where do we all share? I think it would solve stuff, man. I really do. I'm talking to the La Francais pretty soon. Like, what's up, critter? Yes, doing comedy is a lifelong dream of mine, man. We moved up, well, we used to have cable in Houston, then we moved up to Anchorage in '88, and on the hillside, they didn't bring cable up there yet. You had to watch TV, the 7 channels or whatever. And then they brought cable up there, and I started watching, we got HBO and Showtime and stuff. I used to watch Def Comedy Jam and watch all these guys, watch Martin Lawrence and Eddie Griffin. But my favorites were Richard Pryor and George Carlin and Eddie Murphy. Man, Richard Pryor is my favorite. I love him. When he died, I just felt, sometimes I have dreams where I visit Richard Pryor. You know? I do. I just felt like a kingship with him or something. I don't know. We don't have that much in common, but I don't know. He's just like a bad father to me or something. And but I like some of these new guys, you know, new to me, like Bill Burr is really great. The Clean people. I love Sinbad, man. Grew up watching Sinbad. Saw Sinbad perform at the Performing Arts Center. God, I love that man. Doesn't pay his taxes though, I guess. But the problem, and so I wanted to be a comedian. It was one of the things I wanted to do. I can act and do all this stuff, but I wanted to be a comedian. But for years I had no material. My wife and I were even down in LA, and they would have open mics, and I'm going to do this, and I'd sit down and have all this time to do it, and I couldn't think of anything. Nothing was funny. Couldn't think of anything funny. There was things that happened in my life though. 3 things that happened in my life that gave me material. This might be a little out of order, but the first thing that happened was I got cancer twice. Shannon's still here. She's a cancer survivor as well. We're going to have the cancer survivor comedy show. You better freaking laugh. You're going to die. You better laugh. Might be the last wish they got, motherfucker. Johnny Depp ain't coming in to visit Shannon. But I got cancer twice, damn it. But I got it 9 years in remission. They told me it was gone. And then when it came back, they were fascinated. They didn't care about what happened to me. They were fascinated because I was a miracle. They looked at me and they're like, "Are you our Messiah? What's happening?" They just wanted to study me all the time. I felt no care, no compassion about my life. They were just like, "God damn, you're amazing." I mean, it's like they met Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. "Man, you're amazing on there. You're amazing with the cancer." I could bring it back. I had like the Disney Plus, I'm going to bring Indiana Jones back, cancer. You know, it's like, it's been on here for a while. Let's bring it back for nostalgia reasons. God damn it. I tell you, and this time it was bad. It was bad cancer. Really bad. Bad. The doctor even used the word death to my wife. Well, he has died. And he said that. And I was like, God, no one's ever said it to me. And so I started thinking about death a lot. And boy, when you really think about it, it's like there. It's like real, you know. And you're like, man, it could be over. It's crazy. Death. And I had so much chemotherapy. I had so much chemotherapy that my actual doctor said, we can't give you any more, all right? You will not, you have had enough chemotherapy. We can't even give you any more. And then they had to do a little radiation stuff. But it was very hard, very, very hard time. I was hooked up to a chemo machine for 5 days straight, 7 days straight. And I forget, it's like when you get drunk and you wake up and you don't know what happened. It's like that. It sucked, I'd make drunk dials, like chemo dials to people like, "Hey, motherfucker, what's up?" What's up, critter? know? And my poor wife was like, you called somebody last night? Remember that student you taught? And I was like, oh God, no. You know, I can't believe it. But yeah, so, and it was also hard because I lost all the hair. First time I had cancer, I just had the cool, like, shaved head look. And it's hard for women. I mean, you see these women with no hair, and they got the thing on, and you know something's going on, and you're like, oh man, my heart goes out, I'm gonna pray for this woman. You know. And, you know, the hair means something. You know, men can just shave it off and whatever, you know, got the same hairdo all your life, whatever, like I do now. And, but I lost all the hair. I mean, talking all the hair. All of it. It was puberty in reverse, people. It was like American Werewolf in London, play it in rewind. Okay? It was not, the hair went away. I was as smooth as a porpoise. I could win I could put me in the pool, coach, man. I'm gonna porpoise through that. The hardest part was having no eyebrows. I actually lost the eyebrows. You ever seen people without eyebrows? They don't even look human anymore. It sucked, and I started being prejudiced. Racist, well not racist, but prejudiced against people who had eyebrows. I remember we were in a hotel room, you know, I watched American Hustle. I was like, these motherfucking actors, all the shit that they got all this money and shit, they got fucking eyebrows too. Fucking eyebrows, Bradley Cooper, you motherfucker. You can still have your fucking eyebrows, but I got shit. What do I got? I got shit. You got shit. You got eyebrows, I got shit. It was bad, man. I had hate in my heart for people with eyebrows. And it's hard also to find a job because I was so low energy. I had that much chemo. You're just like, gosh, no energy at all. I dropped I was down to 150, 150. This ain't 150, right? 150, man. Anyways. So it's hard to find a job. So I could find a job, I was able to find work, part-time, minimum wage. I was able to be a mannequin. You see me at Old Navy in khakis, kids, and a polo. Stand there as long as I could. It didn't last long. You don't have to pay the actual mannequins. They got under my skin quick. Hey, what the fuck is down there? Standing around. Anyway, so that was a tough time, man. It was really tough. But I got through it. But I tell you what, two things got me through it. God got me through it. I'm actually a religious man. You might not believe it since I've said the F word more than anybody here. I just kind of consider myself, and I really do believe I am a follower of Jesus Christ. And I wasn't always that way, and I am. I really am. I really believe, and some Christians might be watching this or something when I post it, and they might say, what the heck is with this guy? But guys, just consider me Jesus' fucked up follower, okay? That's just what I am. I don't mean to represent anything. I'm just dealing with life, okay? This is where it has left me. This cancer has left me like this. I used to be a good person. I got saved and I got rid of it all. I stopped looking at boobies. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. I stopped all that stuff. I was going to wait until marriage. I dropped it, man. And then cancer came and I got bitter. But before that happened, I said it's out of order. I got married. I'll explain. She's good, though. She didn't mess me up, but it messed me up. Marriage messed me up in a good way. But I tell you this, before I go into this, I have to say, God got me through it, but my wife, Bethany, got me through it. Second year of marriage. Can you imagine second year? She was like, God, I played the wrong card, man. Backed the wrong horse. I was an unlucky husband, like, shit! I crapped again, God. Her first try at marriage. Cancer boy, shit! No, she was amazing. Holy mackerel, taking care of my skinny ass. Taking care of all those doctors, being like, he's not a lab rat! Treat him like he's a person. Okay, but he's so amazing. But, I got married, and when you get married, is the first step of learning about your own selfishness, right? And you might not even be that selfish of a person. People are kind of that's a selfish person. But we're all selfish, I think, until we have somebody else to care about. And we have the challenge of putting them in front of us. And especially, I mean, I can only speak for myself as a man, right? Especially as a man, I feel like it's my job to put this person before myself. And to, as the Bible says, the man lays down his life, right? We always read that she must obey, but, that came out, sorry. The mic's like, it's time's up. Come on, people need to go home. Sorry, God. But, the Bible says, it doesn't just say, obey or what, the woman must obey the husband, but it also says, because the husband must die like Christ died on the cross, right? And so I'm trying to die all the time. And God took it literally for a while. You want to die? Okay. Feel this for a while. Anyway, but but you're faced with selfish challenges, like, oh, I want to do this, but she's here. I'll still do it, And then she gets mad at you, right? That was the first thing. But the thing that has messed me up, who has created this creature before you, this bitter, curmudgeon-y, angry man, are my children. Now, my children are beautiful. I love my children. There's 3 girls. I love them. They have really messed me up. They have messed me up. And I said last time I did this comedy thing that children are a mirror, right? If you look at it. If you're just really selfish, you're like, oh, shut up, kids, I gotta do my own da-da-da. But if you're like, no, I really want to attempt at being a good person and put my kids before me because they kind of need it. Like, they demand it more than your wife ever would, right? She's a grown-ass woman. She'll take care of a lot of stuff. But kids need you to put them first, right? Or else they're dead. Right? That's what happens. So you're forced to selflessness. That's what you're forced into, and it's a great thing. It's a hard thing to have kids, but I think everybody should have kids. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people can't have kids. Some people don't want to have kids, but you should still have some sort of kids in your life because they will put that mirror to you and they will help you become a happier person because you're facing your selfishness and you are being selfless, and that is a better life to live. Trust me. Selflessness, not serving yourself. You have these people who call themselves dinks, right? The double income, no kids, and all they have to really show for their life, well, we got to go on vacation, go to Bahamas, we don't have to wait in line, blah, blah, and all this stuff. But at the end of life, you can't, you have a boat, but you can't hold the boat in your lap, like, come here, boat, break your testicles off. Anyway, but, no, my kids have really messed me up. And they haven't, it's not their fault, they've revealed what's inside, the stuff I try to push down. It's because of my kids that I'm having an affair. I'm saying this right as I'm coming out with it. I'm having an affair. It's not a physical affair, can't really be a physical affair actually. I'm having an affair because of my kids with Pocahontas. Let me explain. My Disney watching ended in 1994 with The Lion King. And from then on, it was just Quentin Tarantino and Scorsese all day. I got married, I had kids, and joined the movie DVD club, or the Disney DVD movie club, right? And they send you DVD every week, you can decline it, and we just accumulated our collection, and I had my first daughter, we just pop in, and we watched Pocahontas. Oh my gosh, I've never seen Pocahontas before. Mel Gibson's in this. Pocahontas. And I put that in. Pocahontas appeared. I was like, God damn, there's something wrong with these animators here. This animator must not have gotten laid in years. The way he drew this woman. That is one busty, curvy Disney princess. And she's wearing a loincloth. I mean, my God. Damn, she looked good. But I'm married. So here's the challenge. Let me explain something. As a Christian, this is what I believe, right? You have the battle between the selfish and the selfless. We call it the selfishness is the flesh, and the selfless part is the soul and the spirit, right? And they constantly fight against each other. And as a man, men are crazy. Men left to their own nature, right? We are all inclined. That's why marriage is so good for us, because it taps us down a little bit. It helps us to to tamp down that natural desire to just impregnate everything. Right? It's nature, man. It's nature. Animals are having sex with everything, everybody. Right? Trees. Like, look at it. We got cottonwood. Cottonwood flying all over everywhere. Those are seeds. You know what that really is? That's tree cum. Nature. We have to fight against it if we want to be a good, happy person. I believe that's my religion. Might not be yours. Definitely not Nate's, for God's sake. Figure it out, man. Oh. But yeah, so it didn't stop with Pocahontas. There were more. More Disney princesses. The fight against the flesh continued. And I kind of wanted to watch the other shows, you know? Because I was a pervert, I guess. I tell you what, though, there's a Disney Tinkerbell fairies. Man, those are some hot fairies. Some hot pixies, man. Holy moly. Gosh, I'm just like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with me? Stop it! Stop looking at this. Why did I feel like... I actually felt myself become sexually attractive to the female character in the Here Comes Santa Claus. She's a doll, man. She's a stop-motion doll. She took her hair down. She took her hair down in the song. I was like, jeez. God. Woo. Wow. Woo. It's crazy. But it's, you know, it's hard, man. It's not fair. It's not fair. You know, you gotta fight that man nature part of yourself. You know, you find yourself sitting on the couch. It's morning time, it could be snowing outside. You got both of your kids on your knee and you're watching the Disney program. You're watching the Disney show and you got your babies with you. Some of you have kids, you know what it's like. Some of you fathers out there, your baby's on your lap, and it's like, you know, and it comes to you like, this is the best moment of my life. It's the best moment of my life. You got the blankets and these little beautiful, you know, girls that are yours with the hair and everything. It's just so cute, and they love you. They love you more than anyone's ever loved you, even more than your mama. You know, so, you know, because they don't have a choice. You know, they don't know anybody. But they're in your lap and they're your babies, right? And you're willing to and you're saying as a man, this is the best time of my life. The best thing that could ever happen. You know, better than any sexual conquest of the past. It doesn't matter, right? Better than any adventure, trip to Europe or Viking cruises. It's this moment here with these children on your lap and you're snuggling and their little hands and everything, their arms there, and you're watching the Disney show. And then it comes out. The flesh comes out and you're just watching the show and you say, I'd fuck Elsa. Right? It's horrible. I'm a horrible person, but I'm not the only one. All of you are. You know it. Just admit it. Let your children just dig it out of you. Just dig it out of you. Right? I mean, and Elsa in Frozen 2, man, she let her hair down. Damn that woman. Holy mackerel. I'd like to go into the unknown there. I don't know. Anyway, I used to rate them. I'd say rate. I used to rate them. Like the Disney princesses.
Oh my.
Pocahontas was on top, right? You know, and you get like Rapunzel and, you know, even, I don't know. And you don't mess with any of the animals, you know, and the children versions, you know, Moana's out. She's too young, right? If you're thinking about Alice in Wonderland, you got some problems, okay? And I'm just thinking, like, God, Walt, like, what were you thinking? All these, and it didn't just start like in the 90s and the 80s. It goes back to Peter Pan, 1951 or something, when Tinkerbell, you know, she was looking at her ass on the mirror. You're like, what the fuck is going on, Walt? What? Just go back to Minnie Mouse at least, you know? There's no sexual attraction there. You know? Unless you're into that kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, so they messed me up. It's so difficult, you know, it's so difficult to be strong in this life. It's so difficult to be strong. And if you want to, like, be the kind of man, you know, who lays down his life, I mean, that's the ultimate sacrifice, right? It's like the Titanic, you know, women and children first. Men, you're fucked, you know. First time my penis worked against me. I'll go down with this shit. So, yeah. Yeah, it's so hard to be tough, man. I think of, it's hard to be strong. You know, I think of my grandfather. He was so strong, just strong, but grouchy, Jermixon, you know. I mean, there are legends about this man. Strong man, Ohio farm boy, worked all the time. Worked at 4 a.m., you know, just worked all day long. The man used to work at Schmuckers. The man was career military, fought in 3 wars, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Seriously. And then he retired in Anchor Point. And I think about him, and I think about his generation, and I think about ours, you know, us. My generation, the Generation X, you know, we're just so like, you know, we're the grunge generation, you know, my heart is, you know, all this kind of mute, you know, Nirvana generation. And, you know, we talked a lot about suicide, but we never, suicide's dumb anyway, you know. Right? And then you got the millennials. Now, millennials get a lot of crap, but I'll just say this about the millennials. When the two towers, you know, when those planes went into the two towers, 9/11, those were millennials that signed up and went over there. Me being a Gen Xer at that time, I was like, I ain't fucking going. But the millennials went. They were late. They showed up late, like they do. They weren't proactive. Okay, like, what do I do? Like, it's done. I don't really know a lot about, like, being in the army. I don't know a lot about terrorism. I'm here. I like it. You got the Zoomers. They say that the hope is with the Zoomers. They might, you know, they're kind of teetering and tottering, like, maybe they'll do this or do that, whatever. You know, or maybe there's a bunch of potheads, you know, don't know. Could be. But it's hard, you know. I think of my grandfather's generation, the greatest generation. These are the people that stormed the beach, Omaha Beach. One of you dumb people out there thinking, there's no beach in Nebraska. Normandy, motherfucker! Normandy Beach, right? Saving Private Ryan. But we're not talking like 45-year-old Tom Hanks's. We're talking 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old boys going onto that beach, being shot at by machine guns, by Nazis at an elevated direction, you know, at an elevated level, sorry. And they come up on the boats, and you saw like the movie, you know, some of them didn't even get off the boats. They just got torn up by machine gun bullets. I say 17-year-olds because there were those who lied about their age. They wanted to get in there that much. That's the generation, the Great Depression generation, right? They knew how to just deal with shit, right? And it's hard for us to learn how to deal with shit. But these boys, imagine, I mean, you know 18-year-olds, some of you have 18-year-olds, imagine them saying, I want to do this. I want to run onto a beach running at bullets. What's our generations like? We get killed by peanuts. Fucking peanut will kill us. We're allergic to everything. Right? We have post-traumatic stress disorder when they get our pronoun wrong. Right? Oh, it's funny. Come on. There's no hate here. It's just funny. Well, I didn't know you called yourself that today. Yeah. What are you going to do? Okay, fine. Whatever. I'm glad Chris laughed at that, everybody. Speaking of, so I was told, oh boy, here we go. So I was told that by a friend of mine. She said, you know, you scheduled your cleanup day. And this is before you told me this, Rick, but you told me that today. She said, you scheduled your cleanup day and your comedy night on Pride Day. Yeah. And I said, don't they already have the month? She said, no, but there's a day in the month. And I said, spoken under my breath. I got a lot of motherfucking mouth. So anyway, and so I thought, well, I guess I'll just do gay jokes. What do you think, I'm crazy? I'm not crazy. No, I won't make fun of gay people or the LGBTQIA+. I like the way the French call it, LGBTQ+. I call them the Leviticus. Sounds like a conquering nation. We're the Leviticus. We'll conquer, Leviticus. I won't talk bad about them, but I have to, I won't, I really won't. I'm scared, okay? I'm scared. They're very powerful. The LGBTQ coalition is very, very, very powerful. Like the mafia. All right? I was getting shit for doing something on Pride Day. I was like, damn, I didn't know it was this. Oh, it was a religious holiday. I wouldn't have done this. But I'll just say this. I've always had a problem with the word homophobia because I don't think it means what it means. And I like words and letters. I like Latin and things like that. I mean, I'm Latinx, but I like Latinx. And I might have to write another treatise or an essay called If I Was a Homophobic. I have to think about this for a second. Just bear with me, please. It won't take much longer. It's not even my watch. It's not even a watch. Okay. And that makes me think of like, well, phobia. That means fear, right? Fear of gay people. Or you might say, well, it means aversion. It means aversion to. You don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I thought, no, but arachnophobia is not no aversion to spiders. That's fear of spiders, okay? Fear of spiders. There's even a movie called Arachnophobia. There's no movie called Homophobia. I think it would be an actually kind of funny movie, though. Some guy in North Florida ends up in San Francisco, Castro District. You're like, what the fuck is going on there? I don't know, Daddy. They're going down the wall. I think it'd be a good movie. We should make that into a play, Second stage, of course. Homophobia, the musical. I wish I had a song to just sing with it. I'll have to work on that next time. But I just felt like, are people really afraid of gay people? Leviticus, sorry. And I like the word gay. I'm an old-fashioned person, so I like what words used to mean, like, gay, right? Gay, you meant you were happy. I'm gonna start using that. Matt, how are you? Gay. Gay. How was your weekend? It was a gay weekend. Hung out with friends, we partied, romped in gaiety, slept like a baby the next day. Walking a little funny though. I'm gonna use it. I'm serious. I'm kidding. Next board meeting. How are you, man? Gay. Oh, you're so brave. It takes a lot to be gay. Are you happy? All right. Sorry. I apologize. I'm not gonna make fun of anybody, but I will say I don't know if there's actually a fear against gay people. Some people might be really afraid. I could be wrong. Please. You might be like, you're wrong, but don't. Please stop. Let me just say my piece. It'll be your turn. Right. I'm losing I'm having a Biden moment here, sorry. Too soon. Sorry. La France, just say La France. See, I knew that Biden would get people walking out of there. But there's no horror movie about people like going into the scary house and they go up the stairs and they go into the closet and there's Tim Gunn, going, oh, it's a wonderful ensemble, There's no movie like that. So I don't know if I believe the phobia of gay people. And then I looked at the word homo. It means same. It really means fear of the same. Now I can imagine that somebody would have homophobia, but they'd be like at the store, be like, this Morton sea salt looks like this Morton sea salt. People have weird phobias. Their fear of, oh my God, that that fire extinguisher looks like just like that fire extinguisher, right? That's homophobia. That's what that really is. Your fear of the same thing, identical things. So I guess it's like gay phobia, transphobia, stuff like that. Phobia. Hold on. Homophobia. So I don't know. Man, I really had a good end to this. It really did leave my head. I said, shit. I'm bombing now? I went on the whole time. Phobia, homophobia, I don't know. I'm not sure about the word. The other word I'm not sure about so much. Well, I just don't know what it is. It's pansexual. That's part of the LGBTQ thing. Pansexual. I don't know what that is. I read the definition. It sounds like bisexual. But then I went to the Latin. I went all the way back. Pan just means all. It means you want to fuck all. Sometimes you hear the British say, oh, fuck all, mate. He must be pansexual. I guess it means you just want to have sex with everything. I don't know. And I thought, God, I was driving in my car, turned the radio off, and I thought, man, you know what might be one of the scariest things in the world? A pansexual nymphomaniac. He just walking around wanting to fuck everything. Walking around. Here's that. Up in that tree. The squirrel up there is like, God damn. Tail curls in my squirrel. That does nuts. He looks over that tree. Damn tree. Got a little. Something to kind of massage there. The little bark looks a little cumbersome. I mean, the poor guy wouldn't even be able to get home. I want to have sex with everything, you know. Look at that grass. Never fucked grass before. Might get rubber. Might get chiggers. We don't have chiggers up here. Anyway. I don't know. See, here's the thing. I'm honest, okay? I don't want to hate anybody, but I want to know something about homophobia to make sure I'm not homophobic. Do I have to think that the sexual act of homosexuality of all kinds is a beautiful thing? Am I expected to think it's beautiful? That's my question. And I'm not, there's no aggressiveness here. I just want to know, is it beautiful? Am I supposed to think it's beautiful? Because let me tell you this, I don't want to think about anybody fucking. That's me. I don't care if you're straight, gay, whatever. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to picture it. I'm just not that kind of person. Some people are. Right? That's just not me. I get shy. I don't want to think about that, you know? You ever meet that couple that thank God they found each other couple? You know what I mean? You're like, God damn, I'm glad you two found each other. Because, geez, there's no hope. But you both got beached on the same beach or some same shore or something, and you found each other. And then they come to you like, we're going to have a baby, and it just hits your head, you know, the image, like, oh, God damn, no, I don't want to think about that. No, God, they fucking don't want to think about it. Then fucking, even God doesn't even want to watch that. Like, oh, no, I don't see, no, I'm omnipresent, but I don't want to see that shit. You just have some sex you can keep to yourself. So I don't like to see that, so I don't know. See, you have to understand, I feel bashful saying this, but I am the main character in my sexual fantasies, okay? I'm the hero. I don't think about any of you. I think about me. It's my only time to be selfish, right? I'm the hero. Sometimes I'm the damsel in distress, depending on how much champagne's involved. I was going to say victim, but that's not the right word to use at all. At all. Anyway, coming to my conclusion here. What time is it? There's Oscars in here. I didn't even write anything. Well, I don't know. I mean, I hope I haven't offended the LGBTQ people and the people. But I'm still asking myself this question. All right. I don't know. I will say one thing. Last thing. The LGBTQs have a lot of power. and they talk a lot about how horrible the world's been to them and the oppression and everything, and I'm listening. I'm not disregarding at all. I feel like I should be standing in front of this thing. I'm upstaging myself with this stuff. I'm too close to people. I think of something I don't want to think about. I'm kidding. But there's one group, and it was kind of touched on earlier, and I didn't expect it really, but I've been wanting to say this for a while. There's one group that if they had something to complain about, there's actually a system that was not built for them, right? Real oppression, real, and you don't, but the thing is you don't hear much from them. They don't complain much. They just kind of deal with it. And that would be little people, right? Now, they used to go by the name midget, which I think is a bad word. I don't think that's a good word. That's a degrading word. But then I heard they wanted to be called dwarf, and I thought, well, that's a fantasy creature. It's like wanting to be a unicorn or something. But they settled on little people. And I thought about it, I was like, and I met a lot of people who would classify themselves as little people, and it looks like it's very difficult to get around in this world, right? Nothing, the tabletops are, what do you call it? The checkout counters, the counters are not built for them. I mean, things, cars aren't really built for them. Like, nothing is built for them, and nobody cares. Nobody, and they're among you. They're among you. You just gotta look down. They're there. They're among you. She's right there. I haven't looked at you once. Hope that emergency exit works. I love you, I do. But I don't see these people complain. If anybody's got a right to complain, man, it's them. The world is systematically not built for them. Well, anyways, I should be really scared of even bringing up jokes about LGBTQs and gay people. I should be. But that would be fear of gay people. And I would actually be homophobic. So I'm not afraid to do it. I'm not afraid to joke. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you so much for staying around for this long show. It's like the worst curtain speech ever. I want to invite our comics up onto the stage. Please come be recognized. Shannon, Danielle, Nate, Haley, Chris, good job. Thank you so much. There she is. Thank you very much. This was so much fun. I hope we could do it again some other time. Shannon, she kind of wrote me off because I kept saying, we'll do this again, we'll do this again, we'll do this again. She's like, fuck this guy. So,
it just so happened that the day before you texted me about this show, I was thinking, I wonder what Matt's doing. Matt, you're for a while. What are you still doing going? And then you texted me.
I was thinking about being a white supremacist.
I know.
All right, folks, thank you so much. We'll do this again. We'll let you know. Thank you for being such a good audience. Good night.